I was asked if we could bring some more Starlinks here, so we've brought some more Starlinks here, and I'm just here with the team, and they're going to provide a briefing of the Palisades fire. So please go ahead.
All right. Hello, good evening. My name is Christian Litz. I'm with LA County Fire, cooperating with the partnership with CAL FIRE Team 2, and I'm Operations Section Chief on this Palisades fire. So Palisades fire, we've been here since the beginning of the fire on Tuesday. We were looking at extreme damaging winds, erratic fire behavior coming through and blowing in from about midway on this map and blowing all the way down to the coastline there.
When did that start? Just to frame the thing for people? I assume people it's like great to get the story from like basically a straight shooter.
Yep.
And like, you know, and so like, how did it start? And, you know, and then maybe after how did it start, then like, what are some of the things that can be done to prevent it in the future? But how did it start out? Like, what's the story?
So honestly, we don't know yet. It's still under investigation. We don't know how it started.
Okay.
But because of the wind, honestly, it just allowed it to outpace anything possible. The winds are so strong. Air resources, which we use to keep it small, ineffective.
Okay.
So it blew at it grew at a record-breaking pace. The resources put themselves probably in a bigger danger than they've ever done.
Okay.
It saves as many structures, but you can see it started about here with the wind.
Okay.
And pushed it straight through the Palisades.
All right.
And it allowed it to grow laterally. As the wind slowed down, it allowed it to go back the other way. But now the wind came back out of the north and blew down again. So we have several wind shifts. Resources are all around trying to both structure defense, which is down along the coast where the structure is more heavy.
Okay.
But we do have communities all along the top that we've just been working as hard as we can from beginning to now without any stop, any rest. Resources working 36, 48 hours at times just because of the need of what we had to do. Right now, the fire is looking good. We still have heat all around the perimeter. We still have resources all over and try to secure those edges, make sure that there is limited the potential for any kind of growth.
Yeah.
So we're still out there, but the activity is way down. And then with these winds over the next couple of days, honestly, this fire, we have to watch it and do it, but it's going to blow down at least most of it into its own self. Okay. But any new fire, it's going to do the same thing. We have the winds that's going to push it. It's not as strong as it was on Tuesday, but there is still going to be movement. So we're keeping all the resources available, and we're ready to actually not only respond to where the fire is now, but any new fires that start, we're able to respond and help.
Okay, so so fires are currently under control.
This fire, we're not calling it controlled.
Okay.
But there is line around almost all of it.
Okay.
Pretty much almost all of it, but resources, we're still working. So about the excitement's about 10% of the fire where the flames are there. But 90% of the work is done after those flames are gone, and we have to secure those edges. Did you ever watch a campfire where the wind comes in and it's out?
Yeah.
Then the wind comes and it blows embers?
Sure.
Same thing can happen.
Okay.
So we have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing deeper and deeper and stay around all these homes in Montanido, Fernwood, all the way up.
So when you build the barrier to stop the fire from going, do you clear the brush and the trees and what actions do you take around the perimeter of that?
So along the perimeter, we call it cutting line. We use bulldozers. But really what we're doing is taking everything out down to bare minimum soil. Okay. So there will be a path of dirt from where the black line is.
Basically.
Exactly. We're building a fire break along the edge of the black.
Okay, got it.
So there's nothing left to burn.
Yep.
So the only danger at that point was if the wind blows an ember over that line.
Okay.
So we have to build it appropriately big enough to secure that, to stop that from happening, and then push into the black to take all the heat away, so it gives us a bigger buffer as much as possible.
How big does the fire break need to be?
It depends on the size of the fuel. If you look at textbook size of fuel, it's anything that we see, and it's different for terrain, size of fuel, everything like that. Usually it's a couple times, 1.5 times the size of the fuel.
Yep.
But we have fuel in the Topanga Canyon area, the Palisades area. There hasn't been fire there in 60 years. So you're looking at 15
this is quite a rare fire.
Correct.
Like it's a half-century fire or something.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The last major fires that have really pushed through Topangas 93, 96.
Okay.
But there is part of these hillsides that there hasn't been recorded fire in 60 years.
Okay, wow. All right, and are there things that like would be like I think what a lot of people are curious about is like what things can be done in the future to ensure that houses are less susceptible to burning down. I mean, it's like as we rebuild for the future, because it's like there's one thing about like past recriminations and all that, but like we can't rewind the clock. But what we can do is say like in the future, what should we do to minimize the probability that people's homes and businesses will burn down?
Yeah, great question, and that's really what we want. So throughout history, as fire prevention gets better, we do better at safety structures. So when you look at the LA County website, LA City has references out there as well. We call it, you always hear the term defensible space.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing to safe structures.
Okay.
So, and hardening your home. So defensible space, we'll start there. That is basically clear and brush as low as possible to about 100 feet is what our minimum standard, say 100 feet away. You start at 10 feet, but you limit it out. About 100 feet is the best.
Okay.
So then when it hits there, you're basically building that 100-foot buffer of fuel break around your home.
So like no kindling for 100 feet, basically.
Correct. And then after
that sounds pretty sensible.
It is. And then you hardening your home, we call hardening, is don't stack firewood right against
the wall.
The firewood, it
goes
up.
Sure.
So really a big part of when we lose structures on a typical, maybe not 100-mile winds, but on a typical is there's something by the house.
Flammable.
Fire. Yep.
Okay.
Wood, furniture, something like that. And it can burn up and gets into the attic, and then we lose the house.
Okay.
Or it gets in the porch system, right? You might have a wood deck, and it comes up, and it just allows the flame to go into the house. So a lot of times we talk about or ember cast that gets in the embers. So you put screens around every opening. So you have vents on your house, put screens, very small screens, so the air can get through there. But embers, good-sized embers that will actually catch house, get in there.
Okay.
So there's stuff like that. Move everything away from your house. That you say. And the vegetation in this area is astonishingly beautiful, and we understand that. Yeah. But things you have to do for.
I mean, I have heard like some things, like some of the issues with fire breaks, where like there's like some endangered like plant or something, and then we can't do a fire break, or that's an issue. Like, is there stuff that would be helpful from a regulatory reform standpoint that would help with fire prevention in the future?
Well, LA County, I mean, we do have standards. We go in certain areas. We actually have these lists of residences. Like, this is what we have to do.
Okay.
I think it's just an awareness. So when people, good and bad about it, the bad thing is this happened. The good thing, maybe it'll bring a greater awareness that there is a way to help defend your homes.
Yeah.
There is a way to help this from stop happening in the future.
Yeah.
And that defensible space, building that and building those, that's the way to do it.
Okay.
As far as
well, I guess people are like, obviously, we definitely want to give people a sense of hope for the future, and if the things get rebuilt, that their house is not going to burn down again. It's like a reasonable thing. So it's like if there are things that we should push for from a regulatory reform standpoint, this would be good to know.
Clearance space.
Okay.
Building material, right? We can now. These are newer things. So now the standards of building construction codes have been brought and have changed over the years. So maybe when their house was built, they weren't there.
Okay.
Now we have the new codes. There's going to be certain fire retardant materials. There's going to be certain things that they can do. If you look a lot, concrete buildings don't burn.
Sure.
So there's some of these people that have built their concrete in the middle, and it's right on the middle of the black all around, and nothing was done, but they didn't burn because of the building material.
Yeah, you can't burn concrete.
Correct. So space and fire retardant materials.
Steel and concrete is going to be okay.
Yes. But they have the great things, they have other materials out there now that will definitely help.
Like what? I think people are just like I'm like hopeful that this video can be like helpful to people. Like what should people do differently? Like if it's not steel and concrete, you say there's some new materials like synthetic materials or what?
Absolutely.
Is it?
And there's stuff that they put into the materials to be able to do it.
Hi.
Yeah, I just want to help my partner out over here.
Yeah.
You know. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of point something out. Back in 1962, we had a fire. It was called the Bel Air Fire that burned from
this area into kind of the same burn pattern.
Okay.
And then after that fire, that's when they basically, the city of Los Angeles, they outlawed wood shake roofs. So wood shingle roofs were outlawed.
Yeah, I mean that's a nightmare.
That's an example.
Yeah, sure.
My partner is saying
There's a roof made of kindling.
right. So we update the building standards, the fire code standards, the fire prevention standards,
Sure.
and that's up to you and the people out there that are a little more into the architecture,
Sure.
And to find something that actually could be potentially more fire safe.
Sure.
You know, and then maybe the silver line around the gray cloud is that may happen. Maybe we'll live in a safer fire zone or an area where there's prone to fires, but in a safer type of structures. That's kind of what we're hoping to come out of this, you know, as maybe one of the very small but good things.
All right, sounds good. Well, I mean, do you have any guidance for people? Like if there's, like obviously steel and concrete are not going to burn, but like, are there the new synthetics that you think would be better than like, or besides steel and concrete, is there anything else?
No, I really am not an expert.
Or stone.
To actually like.
Okay. It's pretty hard to burn stone, steel, and concrete.
Certainly there's some stuff out there.
Yeah.
We're about putting it out.
Okay.
But yeah, and I think that there's some people will come together and find something. But yeah, there's certainly some stuff out there. We just.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Hey, everyone.